Hi, this is Julie Houston with Lance Edwards Organization. I'm really excited because we have a special treat for you today. We're going to be interviewing a new 90-day challenge winner. This is someone who's closed their small apartment deal in 90 days from getting started with Lance's system. So I'd really like to welcome Ed Register. And congratulations, Ed. I'm really excited to speak to you about your recent deal.
Thank you. It was a great opportunity.
Oh, that's awesome. So for everybody that's listening, let me summarize what Ed did. He bought a 10-unit apartment building, and you made how much, Ed?
What actually happened was I was able to purchase a 10-unit apartment building with no money down.
Mm-hmm.
And at closing, I was able to walk away with a check for $2,574.
Wow.
And a nice cash flowing property.
And that was from 90 days getting started.
Yeah, actually, it was closer to 60 days.
Wow. Yes. So 60 days from attending Lance's boot camp, and you were able to do this.
That's correct.
Okay, cool. Well, Ed, I have a few questions that I know Lance's members always want to know about, in regards to getting their deal done. Of course, you can answer them or not answer how you choose. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay. Do you mind maybe just telling everyone a little bit about yourself? For example, what is your background in real estate? What prompted you to get started with small apartments?
Sure. So several years ago, I had about 30 single-family residential houses that I had purchased over a couple of years and were renting those out. And had a partnership at that time that we decided to go different ways, and we decided to sell what we had, and I did, and I got out of real estate for several years. And about a year ago, decided to get back into it. And my wife and I had been doing some house flips. And after we were doing those house flips, we really would like to get some cash flow coming in besides flipping a property and waiting on, to rehab the property takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So once we decided to do that, I started looking around, and I was interested in multifamily for a lot of the benefits that Lance mentioned, and decided to go to this course. And after going to this course, I was able to fairly quickly come back, identify a property, and make an offer on that using the techniques that he had suggested, and was able to actually get closed on it pretty quickly.
Very cool. So you had some, I guess, background experience in real estate with single family initially.
Yes, I had. Over the same time period, we had one duplex. So I guess you could count that multifamily. But we're really trying to do what Lance is trying to say is a good way to go, which is like 5 to 50 units. So we're trying to get a little bit bigger units there.
Very cool. Very cool. And prior to Lance, had you received any kind of training in regards to your real estate investing, or was it more hands-on, just learning as you go? What would you say that was?
Right. Prior to Lance, I had never been to a real estate seminar, where I actually went to a seminar. Maybe a couple of things online, some free classes online, a few websites here and there, and reading some books. But prior to that, no formal education.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Well, that's really inspiring. Okay, Ed, now I really want to talk about your deal. For example, can you share with everyone how you found this property and maybe, what the property situation was and how, the opportunity presented itself?
Sure. So one of the things that Lance teaches is to use brokers for finding properties. And this one actually came through a broker.
Oh, cool.
Someone we had been talking to and trying to establish a relationship with. And he said, hey, I've got this property you guys may be interested in. We looked at the property, took a look at all the numbers. And after looking at the property and the numbers, we decided this looks like it could work. And we did a little more due diligence on it and went through all the numbers really well. Went through the leases as Lance teaches in his course, and was able to do a walkthrough of each and every unit, and made the person an offer, and eventually got the offer accepted. We both came to terms on what would work for both of us, and it worked out well.
Oh, okay, good. Well, actually, that's what I was going to ask next. What was the purchase price of the 10-unit complex that you purchased?
The 10-unit complex was $195,000 is the final purchase price.
195. And how did you find the funding for this? Because you purchased it, you didn't flip it, you're holding it.
That's correct. We were able to get 80% financing from the bank. So the bank came out and did an appraisal. Their appraisal came in at $215,000. So their appraisal was a little bit higher. And at the time we wrote the contract with the gentleman, I asked him would he be interested in doing some owner financing. And the gentleman we were purchasing it from was, I think he was 81 years old, something like that.
Oh, wow.
And so he didn't want to do long-term owner financing because he wasn't sure how much long-term would be for him. So he said he would be interested in doing some, but he didn't want to carry the majority of it. So I asked him would he carry 20% of it, and he agreed to carry the 20%. And he said he would actually do it at 0.5% less than whatever interest rate the bank would give me.
Nice.
So I thought, okay, that sounds like a really nice deal.
Yeah.
So that's what we were able to establish. And so we got 80% from the bank, we got 20% from the owner, and at a really reasonable rate.
That's exciting.
Yes, we were quite excited. My wife was actually like, he's never going to go for this. And I was like, well, Lance says try it. So I tried it, and he said, okay.
Yeah,
So
you just
you
never know,
until
right?
you ask. That's right.
So with this deal under your belt, what do you think is next for your business?
It's funny you should ask that, because after we got that deal started and it was going through the process, the problem with the bank is bank funding takes a little bit of time. So while we were waiting on that to go, I was looking at what Lance said about doing some marketing. So we did some direct mail marketing.
Uh-huh.
And I actually sent out 605 direct mail pieces. And I think a good response is usually 1 to 3%. And within about 4 days, I had over 100 phone calls for my 605 mail pieces.
Wow.
Which is a phenomenal response. And I thought, what have I done? You know, the floodgates had opened.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And out of those, I went through and kind of picked the ones that looked most interesting. And I closed on the 10 unit on a Friday. On that Sunday, I got an offer accepted on a 23 unit.
Really?
I've already had another offer accepted on a 23 unit.
Wow.
And we plan to keep using that as resources that we collected from the direct mail, and we plan to keep going through that and trying to purchase more.
That's really exciting.
Yes.
Holy. Close on Friday, another deal in the works by Sunday.
Yes, we were quite pleased with that. So.
Wow. That's really good stuff. Okay, Ed, I have one more question that, we ask all of Lance's students when they close a deal. And keep in mind, there's going to be people listening to this who have never, ever done a deal before in their life. Here's the question. What is the single most important thing you've learned in this process?
I think the single most important thing is to take action. You can go to all the real estate classes or courses that you want to and learn all the stuff. You can be very knowledgeable about how to go about it and how to get financing and all that stuff. But if you never go and take the action, it just won't happen. You've got to go out there and make it happen. It's not going to happen just by going to a course. The course gives you the knowledge, but it doesn't make it happen.
That's really good advice. And I think it's something everybody needs to hear. That makes sense.
Right. And there were things, during the process, there was times when I was thinking, well, what if this happens, or what about this? And, I just trusted the knowledge that I had gained from the course with Lance, and thought, Lance was like, you won't have all your questions answered when you go into it. And there were things we learned along the way. But by doing those things and having the confidence of, I just got to go take the action to make it happen. If you always want all the answers before you take action, you'll never take the action. So my advice is jump in and do it.
No, that's awesome advice. I think that's probably the best advice I have heard yet, to be honest.
Well, good. And so we're still trying to take more action, trying to get more properties. Right now, as we speak, I have a notebook full of leads right here from the postcards that we sent out. And some are marked red for really good. Some are marked yellow for kind of okay. And some are just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a stack of leads that we have here that we're going through to find more properties.
That's awesome. That's exciting stuff.
It is. It's very exciting.
Well, Ed, I want to thank you for taking the time to share your experience and working with Lance Edwards' small apartment system. I'm really confident that this is going to be invaluable to anyone that's actually just getting started in real estate. You shared some great information. So I want to thank you for that.
Good. Sure, no problem.
And for Lance Edwards, this is Julie Houston. We will speak to you again on the next 90-day challenge interview. If you'd like to learn how to become part of Lance's 90-day challenge, please call our office at 281-667-3638. Again, that's 281-667-3638. And I want to thank you again, Ed, for this interview. I really enjoyed our time together today and sharing all your experience and feedback, and we're just real excited that we got to have you on.
Sure, no problem. I really appreciate having the opportunity, and I'm happy of the information that Lance has been able to provide that's really making a life-changing environment.
Great. All right. Well, thanks, Ed, and to everybody, we hope you have a great day.
Okay, thank you.